I want to give you a couple of tricks to transform and work with selections as you're creating them and getting them just right. Let's say I want to select the center of this flower in a rectangular shape. So I've got my rectangular marquee tool chosen. I'll press M if I don't have that. If for some reason your current selection tool is the elliptical selection tool instead of rectangular, just press Shift M to toggle it back and forth between the two. All right, so again, when you make a selection, typically the behavior is you start in one corner and drag to the other. I always get a chuckle out of watching brand new people because it takes a while to get used to where you're supposed to start the click. So here I didn't start in the right corner all the way because I'm clipping the top of that center of that flower. So most people are like, oh, don't, I started in the wrong spot. They click outside and they try again. Oh, that may be what they wanted. But let's say that you keep trying multiple times and you're just not quite eyeing that right. Well, rather than starting over again, while you're in the middle of making a selection, so you still have your mouse button down, you're dragging back and forth here. If you notice that it's not in the right position, simply hold down the space bar and reposition it. So drag now, instead of adding and making the selection bigger, you're actually repositioning its starting point. So move it to where you want it. When you've got it where you want it, let go of the space bar and keep dragging with the mouse. So that lets you reposition the selection as you make it. So let's say I wasn't paying attention, I slipped, I let go of the mouse, and I've now got my selection on the image here, and I want to reposition it. Well, that's simple. Just go click in the middle of it and drag it. But what if I see that it's not quite the right shape and size? Well, I need to learn how to transform the selection, reshape it, if you will. Now, you don't want to do free transform, Command T or Control T, because what that does is put a bounding box around the selection that you have, but free transform actually works on pixels. You can see I'm actually scaling those pixels and cutting a hole out of the background there. And that's not what I wanted. So I'm going to press the Escape key. We don't want to use free transform. We want to use a different command under the Select menu called Transform Selection. It works exactly the same in terms of putting a bounding box around the marching ants there, the selection marquee. But instead of actually transforming pixels, you're just transforming the actual rectangle. So it lets you resize it and reshape it. It gives you a little bit more flexibility. So if you didn't get the selection right the first time as you were dragging it out, don't worry about it. Just go to the Transform Selection command. It's under the Select menu. Make your transformation. You can even rotate it. You know, just like everything you can do with free transform, instead of transforming pixels, you're transforming that selection. When you think you have it the way you want it, just press the Enter key, and there's your transformed selection.